Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mac and Talk for Tuesday. It's actually Mac and Talk number 45 for Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. I am your host, Chanelle Allen. Mac and Talk is a Q&A conference call for anyone with Mac questions. Whether you're just getting started out, and maybe even before that, you're just trying to decide if the Mac is a good device for you, or you could be trying to learn voiceover and maybe haven't gotten your Mac out in a while, or maybe you have, but you're still stuck and need some encouragement and some tips. Or you could be a longtime Mac user with some questions about an app or feature, or even some insightful tips and resources to share. For whatever reason, I am glad that you have joined us now, or that you'll be listening later on via the podcast recording. I would like to talk about iBUG today, then about what's coming up this week, and then we will get to your questions. So the best way to keep up with everything at iBUG today, because I think we have over 20 social events every month, social and training events, is our website, which is ibugtoday.org. There, you may learn about us, who we are, what we do, and most importantly, register to become a member. Registration is free, membership is free, attending any and all of our events is free, and by registering, you will receive emails about our upcoming events. And you can also find us on social media. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/iBUGtoday. And there you may interact and exchange information in between our calls. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at iBUGtoday. And all of our announcements are posted to social media. In addition, though, Twitter is full of lots of useful Apple news, rumors, details. Yes, we still heavily use the Twitter, despite the controversy that is going on. Even if you don't have access to Twitter, you can simply go to twitter.com/iBUGtoday, and our Twitter master, Herbie Allen, posts lots of useful Mac how-to guides as well. And if you would like to, if there's a training session you missed or something, or you just kind of want to listen to things that we've done in the past, well, you can look for our podcasts in any of your podcast apps of choice, or asking your smart speaker to play iBUG Buzz, iBUG Mac and Talk, which is what we're in now, iBUG Cafe, and or iBUG Apple Workshop. We also have a YouTube channel, which you can find by looking for iBUG Today. That YouTube channel includes a playlist with lessons from the previous Mac training course. And once this course is done, and I'd like to especially welcome all of my students who are here tonight, but once this course is done, that will be up on YouTube as well. As far as events going on this week, our month is coming to an end, but our social calendar and events is still fairly busy. We just got done with the iBUG Mini Buzz on Clubhouse. Next month, or not next month, next Tuesday, we will have the iBUG Mac Buzz on Clubhouse, and that takes place from 5 to 6 p.m. Central. And it is, well, just an hour-long version of this call. And you may get an answer on there if you don't get an answer tonight. We do have lots of experts, but then next week it's run by Herbie, who knows a lot about audio. So you never know. It's a great place to ask and talk about things that we bring up here. Also, every Monday night, we have iBUG Buzz, and I believe I've got all those titles right. And that is a 2-hour call from 7 to 9 p.m. Central on the same Zoom line, where we talk everything iOS, your iDevices, iOS, and the accessories that go with all of that. And this Friday, we have iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies. We have that every Friday. You can join us at 7:30 for the pre-movie social, followed by the movie at 8, which is The Graduate, I believe, and then a discussion follows. And on Saturday night, we have iBUG Unplugged, and apparently it's about 70s trivia, and people get to talk about what was meaningful about the 70s. And stay tuned to your email because details about all those things will be coming out. Also, watch for notices about our iBUG Cafe. That's a deep dive training session into an app or group of apps. Last month it was all about visual assistance. And next month, I can't remember what the topic is, but stay tuned. We also have the iBug Apple Workshop, iBug Android Insight, Apple Vila Book Club, iBug Trekkie Talk, and probably more things that I am not thinking of. So now what we like to do is go around the Zoom room and just say your name, who you are, where you're calling from, and if you are a first time participant at Mac and Talk, if you're joining us for the first time, then after we go around, we will begin the questions. So I am going to start. I am Chanelle in Houston, and well, I've been doing Mac and Talk since we started, and we're now at Mac and Talk number 45.
This is Brad. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I've been doing Mac and Talk since fall of 2019.
Wow. Yep. Brad was one of my first students, actually.
I think it
Okay,
was the
go ahead.
second time you did the class, actually,
Yeah,
if I'm
okay,
not
yeah.
mistaken.
Second time I did
I
the
was close to
class.
the beginning.
Yep. Great.
I'm Pete,
Hi,
and I'm in Jacksonville, and I've been coming to a bunch of these. It's been
Great.
almost a year, I think.
So glad to have you, Pete.
Yeah, great to be here.
I'm Z Krell. I'm in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and I'm a new student with Chanelle.
Welcome. Yay. Glad to have
Yeah.
you, Z.
This
I'm
is
Corey.
Judy. Oh, sorry, Corey.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Corey.
Yeah, it's Corey from Brampton, Ontario, in Canada, and this is my second ever Mac and Talk.
Yeah, because you were at last month. Well, we're glad to have you back again. All right, Judy.
Hi, it's Judy from Connecticut, and I'm a returnee from Chanelle's class. And for you guys, they are the best classes. They're like encyclopedias of information. Thanks.
Thanks, Judy. I'm just so glad that you keep coming back. I love to hear your voice.
Zoom.us has new window.
Misty Hagan from New Jersey, and this is my second time.
I thought you sounded familiar. That's right. Welcome back, Misty. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Hey, Chanelle, it's me, Priscilla from Arlington, Texas.
Priscilla, yay. Glad to have you.
Yes, always glad. I keep forgetting to join in, but I'm
Ah,
here.
well, I'm glad when you are able to.
Thank you, dear.
I'm Diane Scalzi from Michigan, and I'm in the current Mac training class, and this is, I think, my second time. I was here last month.
Yep, welcome.
Yeah.
This is Merle from Lincoln City, Oregon. I'm a new student, and this is my first time in this.
Great.
I'm from Minnesota. This is my first Mac and Talk, and I'm a current student as well.
Hi, Keith. Glad to have you. I think you said, yeah.
This is Dot. Hello.
Hi, Dot.
I'm Dot. I'm calling from Orange County, California. I am a current student, and I joined Mac and Talk quite a few times.
Yeah, you've always been in the background, but I'm glad you're now. We get to hear from you. So glad to have you.
Thank you. Thanks.
This is Nancy Green.
Oh, Nancy? Go ahead.
Yes, this is Nancy Greenberg. I live in Arlington, Virginia. My first time to Mac and Talk.
Welcome.
So I'm just here to learn. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Nancy. Glad to have you. And who else was talking?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I just wanted to say I'm in the Mac class, and I've been to Mac and Talk maybe 4 times.
Great. Well, we're always glad to have regulars, and yeah, glad to have you.
Dan from Southern California.
Dan, hello. And I think I heard Lynn. Uh-oh. Was Lynn speaking as well?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm munching on Lucky Charms as my snack with some
Okay.
coffee. I'm Lynn from Delaware, and I am the one that totally embarrassed herself this week in study session, but I'm going to get myself together.
Well, no one knows about that outside of the class, so you've just told on yourself. Okay.
I know, but I have learned so much from this class, and I'm from Delaware.
Welcome.
Yeah. President Biden, hometown.
Yeah.
President Biden, hometown.
Actually, I think he was originally from Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Okay.
We discussed this last week, I think, at the review session.
Oh, we did? Well, I wasn't part of Anyway, that's not quite part of we need to get on, and I'm sure. Is there anybody else who wants to say hi?
Ray from Southwest Harbor, Maine.
Oh, did you say Greg?
Raymond.
Ray. Oh, well, and you were here last time, right?
I was.
Yay, welcome back. And hello, Darcy.
Hi, this is Darcy from Ontario, Canada. I'm currently in Tennessee, and I've been coming to this off and on for about a year.
Yeah, it's been nice to have you.
Thanks. And this is Doug Wakefield. I'm here.
Hi, Doug. Welcome. Doug is also in our class. Anyone else? Would you like to introduce yourself? All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with questions. And if anybody, feel free to speak up at any time. If you want to say hi, introduce yourself.
Hey there. I didn't know my audio was muted, but I'm Sean. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I'm a first time member of Mac and Talk, but I'm an experienced Mac user. So if you have any questions for me, I can answer them.
All right. Well, we'll see what people have on tap for tonight, and welcome. Thank you. So who would like to ask our first question?
Donna Permer has joined the meeting. Speech muted.
And welcome, Donna. Oh, go ahead, Dat. Were you?
This is Dat.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, I'm one who like to know how big is my folder and how many files in a folder. And when I use Windows, when I
currently unmuted.
When I focus on a actual file or actual folder, the window will describe how many gigs and I don't know how to have the Mac describe such information.
Command I on the folder.
So let me I realize we have several new people here. So when you want to say something, and nobody's in trouble, but when you want to say something, just say your name like Dat did. Hi, this is Dat, and then ask your question or make your comment. So, all right, I believe that was Sean, and I think Sean, you're saying Command I.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Command I. Is there any way to make it automatic instead of do Command I every time?
I don't think it's Sean again. I don't think so.
Go ahead, Sean.
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
This is
one
Darcy.
more step to be.
Go ahead, Darcy.
Okay. And I imagine you probably talk about this in your class, but depending on what Finder view you're looking at, whether you're talking about column view, list view, icon view, I actually use column view, and what I like about it is if you're focused on a file, not so much a folder, but if you're focused on a file,
folder. Yeah.
Okay, well, all right, well then, because a file, if you are to the right on a file, it will tell you the size of the file and all that kind of stuff, and other metadata. Like if it's an audio file, it will say the duration and stuff like that. But yeah, for a folder, Command I is your best bet.
This is Brad.
Yes, Brad.
Yeah, just to specify, when you use Command I, it doesn't just say this information. It actually opens up a get info window, and then you navigate through it using your VO right or left arrow, and it gives you all kinds of information about the item that you had highlighted when you did the Command I command, because what that is, like I said, it's get info. So it gives you all kinds of info about the file or folder or whatever it is you've got your focus on.
Yep. Very good.
Well,
And we'll be
yeah, very good. I'll try it then. Yeah.
we'll be doing Finder next week and a bit more with even get info actually in text edit. But yeah,
That's good. That's good.
awesome.
Yeah.
This is Z.
Yes,
oh,
Z.
sorry.
Go ahead.
What do you mean by folders? I know in PCs, folder, but where would folders be on my Mac? I know. Okay, that's very. I don't know.
That's a good question. Who wants to explain folders?
I can. So,
okay. Thank you.
So folders
ahead,
are things in the. I'm Sean, by the way. So folders are things that you go into in your Finder. They kind of operate the same as Windows. So basically, you create a folder and then you open it, and then you put files that you want in that folder. So it's basically that works the same as Windows does for folders.
Okay, and the folders just sit on my desktop?
Well, you can move them say your documents folder, or your home folder, like your home, like if you do VOH, that brings you to your home folder, and or not VOH, Command Shift H, and it brings you to your home folder, and then that's where you can stick all your folders that you want as well too.
So basically there's a whole structure of folders on your Mac. You have folders within folders, just like you do in Windows Explorer. And in the Finder, you can actually go to the Go menu. We've talked about this in class, and the menu bar. And in that menu bar and in the Go menu, it lists many common folders on your Mac. So this is these are all, you're helping me plan my next lesson. Thank you.
This is Brad.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, just for further clarification, for those of you who are familiar with Windows, you have what we used to call Windows Explorer. They now call it File Explorer. And that is the graphical user interface that the user uses to, interact with Windows. Well, on the Mac, they call pretty much the same thing. It's called Finder. And when you are interfacing with the operating system, you are using Finder. The desktop is Finder. You open Finder Windows. So think of Finder as the Mac equivalent of Windows Explorer, File Explorer, whichever version of Windows you're used to using. That would be the equivalent in Mac.
Okay, so that definitely helps. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate that. Because I see the apps. I mean, the apps are down there, but then I was like, well, what folders am I creating and where am I putting them? Yeah, okay. Because even when you open up your Gmail, and this is still Z, by the way, I'm sorry. You open up your Gmail and you have your G drive. My G drive is still within my Gmail. That's not going to be separate. Or can I have it separate?
I think that's still part of it. Now we're kind of getting into a separate subject. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good question about folders, and Finder's definitely one of those things on the Mac. It makes more sense than it seems to at first, but we will get there. So
good.
Who would like to ask our next question?
It's Corey.
Yes, Corey.
And my next question, I don't know if we can deal with it, but is there any way to find methods to reduce when your Mac keeps saying so and such an app is not responding? Is there any way to kind of reduce the incidents?
Yeah, good. Who wants? Okay,
so it's just hard no.
Well, and remember, please don't shout out.
Sorry.
Let's go who, and because we'd like to give everybody opportunities to answer the questions, because this is a learning experience for everyone. So who would like to help Corey? Yeah, I guess one thing that can help is doing things like, clearing your trash, clearing your internet history, your cache. There's not having too many things on your desktop. Um, you,
I thought so.
yeah, running some, there are some um, utilities that work okay for, removing or kind of cleaning up on your Mac. Like one I used to use is called Onyx. I think that was free. So there's things there's actually a guide on the Applevis article, I think called Guide to Cleaning Up a Slow Mac. And it gives you a lot of steps that you can perform manually, such as cleaning different caches. And
This is Pete.
yeah, Pete, go ahead.
I wanted to ask, would poor internet connection possibly result in that kind of a notification, or is that not?
I don't think so. I don't. So, like, not responding, not that could be
Yeah,
if a page is having a hard time loading in Safari,
loading, right?
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a good
This is
thought.
Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
What was the original question?
I think it was, why things are trying to make it so things don't always say, not responding. Am I correct, Corey?
Yeah. This is
Corey?
Brad.
Okay, go ahead.
In Safari, a lot of that has to do, and Darcy can maybe correct me if I'm a little bit wrong here. A lot of that has to do with Java. Java loads a lot of stuff. And
Right.
some websites use more Java than others. And so sometimes things get a little hung up on that. And yes, maybe your internet connection speed can affect that sometimes, but a lot of that has to do with the code in the website you're trying to load.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just lost the focus. It's Corey. Yeah, that was the original question. How do we cut down the incidence of, the not responding stuff?
Where does it seem to happen the most for you, or do you?
It's mostly on load up, and it's mostly
Okay.
because I've just installed the evil old Office suite again.
Oh,
And I
okay.
have to take a few things out. There's a few things I don't use, and I want to remove them. So it's a little crusty old Mac, and it just
Yeah,
needs
Sean
probably
here.
some
I was going to
maintenance.
ask a question for you. How
Yeah.
old is your Mac?
It's the last of the Intels. It's got 16 gigs and an i5 in it.
Like 2018?
No, 2020. It was after the change out of the keyboard from the Butterfly.
Okay.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it was the very last of the Intels that were produced. I was waiting for an M1, but I couldn't wait anymore. So I just had to get it.
Go ahead,
This
Brad.
is Brad. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say that's a pretty new Mac.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that your Mac is causing any kind of a bottleneck. It may not be an M1, but that's a fairly new Mac, even if it's an i5. So I don't know what to say. I still think that JavaScript loading is the culprit. And I don't know what to say other
But
than
when
that. Make
stuff
sure your
just
Mac is up to
loads?
date. You got plenty. You got 16 gig of RAM. That should be fine. But I would make sure your Mac is up to date. It should update Safari automatically to you. I don't know if trying out. I prefer Safari over Google Chrome, but a lot of people like Google Chrome. I use it as my backup browser.
Yeah.
But try the same website on Google Chrome and see if your results are any different.
This is Merle.
Yes, Merle.
You guys are talking about Java. What is that?
Oh, it's a
JavaScript. What is that?
Java.
I've never heard the term before.
This is Brad.
Yes, Brad.
As a layman, someone who doesn't do coding, Java is a coding language that is used. It creates a lot of the graphics and the visual effects that sighted people see on a website. it is, there's old Java, new Java, and the newer stuff is always more demanding on resources. That's just one of the reasons why if you're using an old computer, old browser, you are going to have lots of problems. But as the questioner asked, I believe he has a 2020 MacBook Pro with 16 gig of RAMs. I do not believe that machine is going to be causing him a problem.
No.
But that's basically what it is. It's Java.
Okay,
Is a
well,
lot of the bells and
that
whistles.
explains a lot. Thank you.
Okay, so we are hearing somebody with their voiceover. Please, when you're not asking a question or making a comment, please stay muted, or else I'm going to have to go through and start muting a bunch of people. And yeah. Anyway, there's probably so many culprits, but who would like to ask our next question?
This is Judy.
Okay, Ray. I heard, and then we'll get to Judy later.
How do you call Siri? I have, like right now, my keyboard command is supposed to be Option S, but when I do that,
Uh-oh, you're breaking up.
getting Siri, I get notifications.
Ray, we are having a difficult time hearing you. Can you go, your connection's not very clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuck in the matrix.
Yeah, you're better.
Okay. So when I try to get Siri, my keyboard command is supposed to be Option S. Is that coming in clear?
Yes, Option S.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but when I do that, I get a message, a notification.
Closing your door.
And then my computer just locks up.
Huh. Okay. So has Siri ever worked for you successfully?
It used to. It used to be that I could just would press Command Spacebar, and then I would get a ding, and I would say, "Hey Siri," and it would work. But that doesn't work anymore.
Okay. So who has any ideas for Ray about getting Siri to work? Well, one thing I would recommend, I don't know if this would make any difference or not whatsoever, but I would try to choose a key that's not a letter key, like option so command space. The difficulty with that is it can sometimes be confused for the spotlight command. So maybe you could try option space or control space. My Siri command is actually FN space, but that I don't know why your command wouldn't work, but it might be useful to go and see what the notification says. If you're able to.
I can't do anything with it. It won't let me go. It won't let me do anything with it.
Okay.
It just freezes up my computer. I have to shut it down and start up again.
Oh, wow.
Not bad.
Hi, this is Lynn, and I was just
Yes, Lynn.
wondering, if he's having internet difficulties, then I wonder if that would somehow cause Siri to misbehave as well.
That could, yeah, because she does need a or wait. Is
Remember,
Siri on
I'm not
device
in
now?
that viewing. That's the sighted people. It's you.
Okay, all right, I am going to. Everyone is muted, so if you want to speak, you will need to unmute. Yeah, so I'm sorry. My suggestion would be to, maybe try setting a different key command. Who would like to ask our next question?
This is Judy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I said we were going to go back to you. I'm sorry,
okay.
Judy.
That's all right. This morning I was on my iPhone and I was in the mail app and I found some pieces of an article that I wanted to copy. So I copied them and shared them to my notes app on the iPhone. Now, I've never used notes on the Mac. So tonight I was just kind of going into my notes on the Mac, and I was kind of fumbling around, but I didn't see that note there. Do the notes from the Mac and the iOS, do they, what's that word?
Sync?
Sync, yeah. Thank you.
Are you using the same iCloud account on both devices?
Yes.
Okay. Who is...
This is Brad.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Brad.
use notes a lot. I would go into your iPhone and look at the folder structure in the notes app and make sure that you're putting things you save in an iCloud folder and not a local folder. That should make them available to other devices signed in to the same iCloud account.
Okay. And then on the Mac, is there something in the notes or somewhere in the system settings I should make sure that's, I don't know, connected with iCloud?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I would go on both devices, go to your settings on your iPhone for one.
Yeah.
Open up settings, and then right up at the top you see your name. Double tap on your name. Go to swipe down until you get to iCloud, and double tap on that. Then you should see a long list of things that can be synced with iCloud, and one of them is notes. Make sure it is checked.
Okay.
On your Mac, you can do the same thing. You can either go to system settings, find iCloud and do it that way, or you can also in system settings, just look for internet accounts.
Oh.
And then internet accounts, one of them is your iCloud account. And then it's kind of the same thing. You'll go over to it and, well, it'll have a list of accounts. You select an account, and then you'll go to, and it'll be iCloud, and you can go through there and you'll see the same, similar to what you see on your phone, only a little different, but mostly you'll find a number of features in there, such as notes. And again, make sure notes is checked as something that is being shared to iCloud. If it's not checked, you're not only not sharing to iCloud from the Mac, but you're not seeing what is being shared by other devices to iCloud. So you want to make sure both devices have selected notes in your iCloud settings.
Wow. Thank you, Brad. And thanks,
This is Cliff.
everybody. Hey, Cliff.
Hey, hey Chanelle, Brad. The other thing you might want to double check too, I don't know, Brad said this because I came in late, is make sure only on my iPhone and only on my Mac are not checked, because that means it's only going to be local.
Right. Okay.
Good point.
Good stuff to check. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Judy.
This is Pete.
Yes, Pete.
I'm embarrassed to ask this question because I know we reviewed it in the class, so I apologize, Chanelle.
It's okay.
Every time I start up my Mac or wake it up, I have a recurring weekly Zoom meeting, and the notification is there, and I do not know how to clear the notification. So every time I close an app or, like I said, wake up my Mac, I'll get this, so and so is inviting you to a weekly Zoom meeting, and it gives the new Wednesday night date, and I just don't know how to clear it out.
Okay, so can anybody from my class talk about how do we clear a notification from the notification center?
Hey, it's Sean. I'm not from your class, but I know
Okay,
how
just
to
a
do it.
minute. We've given let's see if there's other people who can answer, because we want to give everybody an opportunity.
Speech unmuted. Quit Zoom.
Oh.
And force quit default. Force quit.
Okay, somebody is doing force quit. All right. Well, go ahead, Sean. Are we still there?
Sean, you there?
All right.
There,
Well,
he's unmuted.
yeah.
Oh, this is Z Krell.
Oh, yay, Z. I knew somebody
Um,
from my class would come through.
I'm trying to remember, but VON to go into notifications, right?
That's one way.
Okay. And then I don't know where to go from there.
Another way is VOO.
VOO. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you can just arrow down. Yeah. Or no?
Yeah, kind of. You have to interact first.
Okay.
And then what did we do to bring up the actions menu once you found the
Uh-huh.
notification? Yeah, close.
Desktop. Oops. Desktop. Sorry.
This is Cliff. I suppose as a former student, I can't answer that question, huh, Chanelle?
Okay, good.
Well, it's
Thank
okay.
you.
Go ahead, Cliff. It's okay, Z. I just wanted to try to, but yeah, go ahead, Cliff.
It's VO command spacebar.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
See, it's a team effort. We all contribute some to the answer.
Thank you.
So I would first go to the VOO for the notification center.
Yep.
And then go to the actions menu, and I'll find a closeout there.
Yeah, first you need to interact. It might be a scroll area, it might be a list. You just want to make, and then you VO left and right till you find the notification you want. Yep, and then do VO command space.
Gotcha.
What is the difference between using VOO and VON?
VON is kind of like the announcement history, or it shows you VON shows you the latest notification, but the problem is sometimes those disappear quickly. So I have not always had good success with VON. Sometimes, I see things in there, but it's kind of like the most recent notification that VoiceOver can get access to, and it doesn't always work. Some people really love VON. With VON, it is more like an up and down arrow, just a single little menu, but I have a hard time getting that to work consistently.
This is Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Yeah, some notifications are persistent and they stay in the upper right-hand corner of the screen until they are dismissed. Others show up and are there for, a few seconds and then go away. For those that are persistent, you can use VON and it will bring up a list of anything that's persistent. And it sounds like perhaps what Pete is getting, I don't know if he's hearing it and then it goes away, and in which case you have to go to the notification center with VO and the letter O, or if it's persistent, it just sits there. And, not having any vision, you can't tell if it's just sitting there. So VON is a good way to find out if it's there. You hit VON once and then check that. It'll probably say no notifications if there's nothing there. If you hit it again, it then tells you announcements. And I've been using it for years and I've never really understand the utility of that unless you miss something. But a lot of things that you heard aren't in there. But that's one thing to do, is check and see if it's a persistent banner that's just sitting there. And if it's not, then VOO and go to the notification center.
I never heard it explained that way before. Awesome. Sorry, Pete, go ahead.
No, that's right. I didn't. This is Pete. If I command shift or command tab or command to another window or to another app, it's gone, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't keep popping back in, but it's usually when I boot up or I wake up the Mac from sleep.
But it'd be nice to have a permanent way because command tab only takes you between apps. It doesn't include those pesky little dialogues. So yeah. Yep.
Good.
Thank you.
Great. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't believe they show up if you do VO F1 twice and arrow up and down looking for a system dialogue. They won't show up there.
No, I've tried that. You're right.
That's why I would check. It's when you go to your notifications for settings for something, and you'll say none. What is it? Banner or what are the three? Help me out, Cliff. I know what they are. I just
Banner,
can't tell you what.
temper,
Yeah, that's it.
banner.
Off, temporary, or banner. And
Yeah.
temporary are the ones that are there and then go away. Banner are the persistent ones, and it'll tell
Right.
you that. So
This is
I
Cliff.
just, VON will tell you if there's a persistent one there.
Yes, Cliff, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Brad. Didn't mean to cut you off, but there also, I don't know if Chanelle's went over this in class yet, but there's other ways to turn off. Like me, I guess you would call me lazy, or maybe I just don't like to be bothered, but I turn off most of my notifications. So in order for me to see my notifications, I have to go to my notification center. So
Right.
those banners don't keep on bothering me. But
Amen.
Brad is exactly right with the option or the VON there. I don't know why it gives us two different prompts or whatever, because that's weird, because it's only supposed to be for notifications. So.
That's why I just teach VOO. But yeah, that makes sense how one is persistent and the other's not. And yeah, we have not talked about, but that could be another demo, how to customize your notification settings. So
Cool. Thank you much,
very
Bo,
much.
everybody.
Yeah, great question. Who would like to ask
Currently
our next
unmuted. This is
question?
Donna.
Oh, Donna, welcome.
Hi. I'm also a former student. So that discussion sort of is leading into my question, because I posted a question to the Mac and Talk list this weekend about my inability to close my trash window. And I tried everything. Everybody suggested. Nothing was working. So I resorted to asking my sighted neighbor to please come over here and look at my screen. And what it was there was a Dropbox window that I could not navigate to. I tried everything. I'll tell you what I tried. I tried both notification center. I tried VOF1 for system dialog, nothing there. VOF2, it would just show me the windows, but not the Dropbox window. How do you, I tried item chooser. I was just all over the place. It was very frustrating. So he had to fix that for me.
This is
Hi, Brad.
Yeah, Brad, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Brad. There has been, if you are using, I don't know if it's only for M1 Macs or all Macs, Dropbox has done something, and they are pushing a notification. It doesn't come out to everybody all at once. I have two Macs. One of them got it a couple of weeks ago. The other one got it just this last week. And actually, I put it off doing it because I was out of town and in a hotel with dreadfully slow internet. I didn't want to do it. But they are changing where things are stored on your Mac. It's like it's a new Dropbox app, and it prompts you to, let us do this. And I did it. It's fine. And it moves where things are. But what it does after you have made that transition to the new way of doing things, or whatever they call it, or updated, every time you delete something, a little dialogue, kind of delete dialogue, pops up, and it won't go away because there is another dialogue that's underneath it. And the first time I did it on the first Mac, it drove me crazy. I could not figure out why I couldn't delete stuff from. Were you trying to delete it from Dropbox, or you said it was the trash folder?
I tried to, it was a file that I deleted, and I had done the Dropbox.
Okay. Well, what I had to do is go to your applications chooser window, VO F1 twice, and you will find I think it said system dialog, and it was from Dropbox. I can't remember how it was labeled. Dropbox dialog, Dropbox system, something. I had to go to it through the application chooser, and it's asking you, do you want to delete? It's something that says, do you want to delete this for everyone, in a shared folder, or do you just want to free up space? If you just want to free up space, you can do this, that, it's telling you that you can make it a online only file. And there's two things in there, because it's going to come up every time until you do this. Check the box that says, don't ask me this again, and then select delete for everyone because it's in like a shared folder and I want to get rid of it. I know
Right.
what a shared folder is. I'm a big boy. I've been doing this a while.
Right.
You want to check that box that says, don't ask me this again, or it's going to ask you every time.
So
thank you very much. I really thought I was going crazy.
You are not
because
crazy.
I just could not.
Dropbox being intrusive.
Yeah.
Brad, I'm sorry, this is Cliff. Brad,
ahead,
you just
Cliff.
reminded me exactly why I don't install Dropbox on my Mac anymore.
Oh, it's not bad. I don't have any problem with it, but it just did something new. That's all.
This is Chanel, and I still use, now I don't know if mine has updated, but I do get, and I have gotten, for a long time now, do you want to delete this file and the shared, whatever. And even if you tell it to remember, sometimes it doesn't, at least for me, but but I've had no problems with those dialogues. So it must just be a recent update. That is weird. And now the rest of us know what to do. Because I have seen that before, but maybe, I don't know.
This is Brad. I'm curious, Donna, do you have an M1 Mac or is it an Intel Mac?
Currently unmuted. I have an M1.
Because I'm trying to wonder, is this update only for M1s? But I don't know if the file structure is different on an M1 than an Intel. I guess it's not, but I'm just wondering if anyone has an Intel Mac and they get this same thing. Dropbox is telling you it's I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but it's telling you that it's storing things in a different place. I noticed after Dropbox did this, OneDrive did it too a long time ago, and they did it without even mentioning it.
Okay.
But that now when you go to your home folder, the link for Dropbox now says it is in alias instead of a folder. And when you open it, you can't do command up arrow to go back to where you came from, because it took like a quantum leap. It did an alias and it went to where it is, and you have to command W to close it and then start over.
It's frustrating.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Donna. Thanks for making us aware of that. I hope it doesn't cause you too much more frustration.
Well, I will check that box that says, don't ask me this again or whatever. I'll find it and check it. Thank you.
All right. Who would like to ask our next question?
I'm sorry, this is Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
All right, Brad. I just went and deleted the folder and it popped up the dialogue. It must be, I don't know, because I have an M1. It's the studio, but it just, I mean, I didn't have to go play with the applications chooser or nothing like that. It just had a dialogue and all I had to do was VO over to the checkbox and say, never ask me this again. And that was it. So I don't know. Could it be because there's too many, somebody had too many windows open or something?
This is Brad. You may not have that new update yet. I'll tell you what I think is the telltale sign is open your home folder, go to the Dropbox folder, and see if VoiceOver tells you, Dropbox alias. And whether it, and see if that's the difference, because that's what I noticed on mine. The other thing is do open it, either Command O or Command down arrow to open the folder, and then try to go back to where you came from, the home folder, by doing Command up arrow. And if it lets you go back to the home folder, you don't have the new update.
Okay,
if it won't
I
let
just
you
went
go
there
back,
and it doesn't say alias, so I'm assuming
you don't have the update. You don't have the
Okay.
update yet. It did it on my Mac Studio, like I said, about a month or so ago. And then it did it while I was at CSUN on the MacBook Pro. And like I said, I was in a hotel with slow internet, so I waited till I got home and did it. So I kept leaving that persistent banner in the corner of my screen telling me Dropbox has an update for me. You need to do this. So.
All right. Well, that's really good information to know how to know if you have the new Dropbox update. But now let's see if we have a question on another topic.
This is Keith.
Yes, Keith.
Could I get a brief review over how to use the VO Shift M function again? I was trying to do it today, trying to get a software update, and I wasn't getting the expected behavior. I recalled it was supposed to bring up a long list of options within certain menus, but all I was getting were 3 options, one of which was open, one of which was, I don't even remember what the first 2 were, but I was just wondering if I was doing it wrong. I must have been.
Well, did you go to your dock and then
I
look for
did.
system settings?
I did.
Oh, and then VO Shift M on system settings?
Yes. And I just got like 3 options, none of which were,
Maybe
typing
because
SOF.
system settings were already open?
It may have said that, yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Brad.
I've been doing this for years. System settings, system preferences, depends on which one it doesn't matter. Sometimes it just does that. I say hit escape, close it, go do VOD, go back to the dock. Your focus is already on system settings. Do VO Shift M again. It should open it, and you'll know the difference because it either says 3 items or it says like 34 items. And if it says 30, you've opened the shortcut menu that shows you all the items in system settings. Why does it not work consistently? Good question. Maybe you didn't hold your mouth right. I don't know. But I've been dealing with that for a while on many different versions of Mac OS. It is not anything new. It's just some kind of inconsistency.
Now, won't work if system settings is already open, though, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah,
that
so
is
system
correct.
settings needs to be closed for that to work.
And
If you get the announcement, I'm sorry, if you get the announcement that system settings is open, how do you close it?
You Command Tab to it and then Command Q.
Okay, thank you.
Or Command W. I don't know why either one does it.
Yeah, either.
But if system settings is open, you can always do VOM and then go to the view menu. And open the view menu. And if you once you arrow down past the first couple of options in the view menu, then you can use your first letter or couple of letter navigation to jump straight to the item you're looking for. Like software update, you can type SO and you'll get to it.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks. Good question, Keith. Good review and good help with that, Brad. All right, who wants to ask our next question?
This is Dan.
Yes, Dan.
Okay, I've got to ask a controversial question for all you guys who are much better Mac users than I am. Has anybody done anything with Chat GPT or Bing with chat on your Mac? I came across an article. I don't know whether this woman was doing anything with the Mac. She created an AI boyfriend. Anybody done anything with Chat GPT?
Well, I can tell. Oh, go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, this is Lynn. I'm the artificial intelligence queen. I have done a lot with it on the phone. I haven't done anything with it on the Mac, but I don't see why it would be a problem. It's just a website. So I don't really, it's very straightforward, actually. You do have to sign up with an account. Well, I guess there is a free version, but
you still have to sign up for an account.
I would sign up, yeah. And then there's also a plus version that you have to pay for, which is what I do, because it would give me capacity messages, and I'm like, I don't do this to me. I'm addicted. Okay, don't make me wait for my Chat GPT fix. Also, Google also has a thing called Bard. So don't get confused when you hear Bard, because they're two entirely different things. It's called Bard, and you can sign up on the Google website, and you have to wait, but they give you, then they'll get a thing, and you can use theirs, which isn't quite as good as GPT. But as far as creating a persona, yes, you can do that. I've done it. on both of them, and it's very fun.
And this is Chanelle. The OpenAI site is accessible on the
Yes,
Mac. I have
it is.
used it there, so it's been a while,
Awesome.
but I have used it. Yeah,
Yep. Enjoy.
definitely.
Now, Chanelle, what site did you use on the Mac?
The OpenAI, where you actually talk to ChatGPT.
Okay, OpenAI, is that a website?
Yeah, I think
Yep.
it's openai.org.
We're calm.
Okay.
I think it's
Or
calm. You
.com,
can do
maybe
calm, yeah.
.com, yeah.
But you can also use Bing as well, because apparently
Yes.
it is part of Bing now. I have never done that, but
I tried, and I think the other day I think it, because I was trying to figure out how to get it didn't seem like the actual chat in Bing was working, and I'm wondering if it really wanted me to install Edge, and there is a version of Edge for the Mac.
oh, okay.
Because I think the Bing is only available in Edge, but I thought you could go to Bing.com. I'm a little
I'm
confused
not
about
sure.
that one.
But OpenAI, that's what you know, .com. You can just go to openai.com and they will want you to sign up for an account there. Now, you know, it's free except if you want to get the plus version.
Yep.
But neither one of you did this on the Mac, right?
Yes, I used OpenAI on the Mac.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just basically a web page. There's nothing really complicated about it, actually. It's very simple.
No. Oh,
it's
okay.
very simple.
I've been working with Bing on the iPhone, and I think it's not really simple as far as I'm concerned. You have to create a Microsoft account for one thing.
Yes, you do have to create an account.
Yeah, but I'll try OpenAI on the Mac and see what I can do. Thank you.
Yep.
You're welcome. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Dan. And who would what?
This is Dot.
Yes, Dot.
Sometimes I come across something called triangle disclosure. What is that thing?
Okay. Who wants to tell Dot what a disclosure triangle is? Where do you remember coming across it? Do you know?
Or sometime in some setting like maybe speech or not speech, but some information, something.
Right.
On one of the system settings. Yeah.
All right.
But I don't know. I can't interact with it, or I try, but I don't know what it is for.
Okay. Does anyone want to answer Dat's question? All right. Well.
Okay, Corey.
Okay, go ahead, Corey.
As far as I understand it, it's a weird way that menus are kind of hidden under it. And when you click on it, you expand it and other items and features pop up. So
yeah,
that's just been my experience of it. It's probably not a technically good description, but it's what happens. You click on it and other things come out.
Yeah, you're right. It expands things. Oh,
this is Janet.
Go ahead, Janet.
From Colorado. I'm gonna mention this, but I don't know if you can actually see it on your Mac on your Club Deck or not. But I've seen it on Clubhouse on my iPhone. When it's a hidden thing. When you double tap on it, it'll expand and show you more. Like when you go to when you want to listen to a recording and you go to your activity.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It'll show you that. So I don't know if it shows you in Club Deck or not, but it does on Clubhouse on the phone.
Interesting. Yeah,
I know
no,
it's not really a Mac thing, but
well, yeah, we definitely have disclosure triangles, not necessarily in Club Deck, but yeah, I think the description is very good that it's a way to expand something and to get additional information or additional options. So there you go. Yeah, Brad.
That's good.
Janet wants to know, have you ever gone into your activity on your Club Deck on your Mac and seen the disclosure triangles on there?
I've been in activity and I don't remember. I don't remember. Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, one of the places you'll find these is in a save as dialog box.
Oh yeah, there you go.
As you navigate through it, it'll tell you where it's going to save the file to, for example, your desktop, your documents, and then there is a pop-up box there, and you can
browse.
go down to the list of previous places. But if you VO to the right, you will hear it say disclosure triangle.
Yeah.
And there's two ways to activate a disclosure triangle. You can do sometimes VO spacebar, or you can do VO backspace, not backspace, backslash, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, VO
And what
backslash.
that does is it opens up like an area right below that that little pop-up box that says where it's going to save it, and it is like a Finder window with a sidebar and a folder view area, and it will work just like Finder. And you can even use your keyboard commands that will take you directly to a folder. For example, if you want to go to your iCloud Drive, you can type Command Shift I, and now you're looking at iCloud Drive, and then you can navigate through iCloud Drive just like you would in a Finder window. Then when you have selected the folder you want, you can just navigate VO right arrow out of it and just continue on. You don't have to close it. You can go back once you've selected, say you have a My Stuff folder in your iCloud Drive. You could select that folder, and maybe you have a folder inside of that folder. And once you decide where you want to go, you could VO left arrow back to the disclosure triangle and I believe close it. And now that little location pop-up is going to say the folder you just selected. And then you can navigate forward VO right arrow just as you were doing before. Anyway, that's one place you'll see a disclosure. You'll also find them in that get info, because there's a whole bunch of categories in there, and you can open and close those to see more information, or close them if you're not interested in what's in that area. But there are lots of places.
Yeah, there are. Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right.
That's good.
Who would like to ask our next question?
And this is Keith.
Yes, Keith.
Every now and then I get this something called expose. What is that?
I think that has something to do with mission control, but does anybody else know about oh, go ahead, Brad.
The sighted user thing, I wouldn't worry about it. It's navigable. There's two things. I can't tell the difference in them. There's mission control and app expose. Both of them will bring up a window that I think my son, who's been using a Mac a long time, since he was like 5th grade, tells me that one came before the other, and they're really kind of the same thing. It brings up a window and it shows a sighted user little miniatures of every application that's open and every window within that application. For example, you could have Safari open, and you could have several different Safari windows. You could have Pages open and several different documents within Pages. Each document can be its own, Pages window or child window of the parent application. And it's a way for a mouse user, a sighted user, to just open that up, and there's a keyboard command or there's a gesture on a trackpad to open it up, and then a sighted user can just click on it real quickly with a mouse. As a voiceover user, we don't need it. Right. And you can either access VO F1. Once will tell you the current app, the second time tells you a list of open applications, or VO F2 will tell you the current window, or VO F2 the second time will tell you a list of windows within the application, and that will accomplish the same thing much more efficiently than going to mission control or app expose and interacting and VO right and left arrow around in it. It's very laborious to use. I've gone through my keyboard shortcuts and done my best to disable them, so that I don't accidentally open it. I've gone to my trackpad preferences or settings, as we call them now, and done my best to find the trackpad gestures that may open mission control or app expose and disable them, because I have no use for it.
Yep.
Great, thank you. When you're using VOF1 or F2, if you've changed your FN key so that it's the function key, the software versus the hardware, will you need to add in the VOFN F1, F2?
Nope, that's why we changed our keys. Oh, sorry, Brad.
Right. Yeah. Well, what he's saying is if you change it so that it's doing hardware functions,
Right.
yes, you'll
well,
have
I had
to add
them,
in the FN key. But
yeah,
yes,
no, I had them change it to do software
the
functions.
first thing I do when I turn on a brand new Mac is change that. If I want to I'd rather have it be F keys by default than hardware keys by default.
Yeah.
But, a lot of sighted users don't really aren't aware. That's when they brought out the touch bar. I believe at the whatever they call it, the Apple event, I believe famously Phil Schiller said, "Well, who uses F keys?" Well, we do.
We do.
Sighted users. I mean, voice over keyboard users use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we the way we changed it and the way I went over in class is good. That will make it so you don't have to hit the function key when you're doing these VO commands. That was the whole point of changing it. So very good.
That's good.
All right. Who would like to ask our next question?
Well, if no one else, I do have one. This is Dot.
Okay, Dot, go ahead.
Where can you go to have the comprehensive list of Mac command key? Just all Mac command key. Mac commands,
There is a great Apple Help Support article that I need to send out the link, my resource list, and it lists a bunch. Was somebody else going to say something?
It's all the Mac commands that I really need to learn. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
This is Brad.
Yes, Brad.
If you're getting started, this isn't a full comprehensive list, but it's a good way to get started, is your menu bar. VOM, go to your menu bar, and in those pull down menus, you will find next to a lot of commands, it will list the Mac OS keyboard command. Like in the Go menu, for example, as you go down through it, it will tell you, for example, your home folder, Command Shift H, iCloud Drive, Command Shift I, and so on and so forth through pretty much everything in that menu. Will have a keyboard command that'll take you directly to it.
That's under the menu. That's under the menu.
The menu
right?
bar when you do VOM.
VOM, right?
Okay. And you'll find stuff in all kinds of the file menu. There's a lot of commands, the edit menu, and that's true in every application. That's one of the nicest things about the Mac is no matter where you are, there's always a pull down menu.
Yep.
Even if you're using the Microsoft Office products, Microsoft Word, there's a ribbon there, but it's not keyboard accessible like it is on Windows, but there's a menu bar. And everything in that ribbon is in the menu bar, and it's wonderful.
Definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
So you go to VOM, and then what do you do?
Then so we are going to go through the menu bar, but yeah, you use your left and right arrows to go. Well, your right arrow goes forward through the menu bar. Your your left arrow goes back. Your down arrow opens a menu. Your right arrow opens a submenu within the menu. So, there's lots of ways to get around. All right, who would like to ask the next question?
Hi, this is Lynn.
Yes, Lynn.
Is there any way that you can... I often get emails that are important to me. I get tons of emails every day, but some of them have, important stuff like Zoom links and stuff like that.
Right.
Is there any way that I can keep... I know you can pin messages in, in your message. Can you somehow pin an email so it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb? Doesn't
This is Herbie.
Yeah.
Yes, Herbie.
Yes, you'll see this this is not Mac specific, but the Mac does allow you to do this. There is an option called flag, and that would allow you to. I think it actually does create a separate mailbox with the flagged messages. So
Okay.
there is you would bring up your context menu, and since you're a student, I can ask you there, Lynn. How do we bring up the
We
context
were
menu?
just going over this.
Well, I wasn't there, so
I
Context.
know.
Shift Command Shift M.
nope.
No, context.
Very
VO
close.
Shift.
Very
VO
good,
Shift
very
M.
good.
Yes.
Yes.
Ha ha ha. Yeah.
But you'll see an option to flag a message in there, and that is
This
how
is
you
Cliff.
can.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Cliff.
I was hoping you didn't show up. But anyways,
I love you too.
I was gonna suggest another thing, but I forgot that you have a lot of your students coming here. But I was just gonna say also what I know some people do. I don't, because I actually sort my mail in directly into folders automatically with rules on the website. But some people I
So
know
do we.
create folders and they VO Shift M, and if you hit M twice, that'll bring you to the move option, and you can find your folder and move important messages there. That's what I know some
That's
people
what
do.
I
Yep.
do. That's what I
I
do.
would do too.
Yeah.
And another thing you can do is you can mark people as VIP. So, and that creates a separate mailbox for them too. It's a little, I forget how you do that now on the Mac.
Oh, I'll go figure that out.
Yeah, I did it once and I didn't like it because it kept telling me I had an unread message when I didn't, so I got rid of it. So, that bugs me. So, even more than even clipping on here bugs me. So, oh, am I supposed to be respectful? Darn it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like a good example would be the community calls email. I am always looking for that thing. Like going to a meeting.
So,
yeah.
this is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
One other thing you can do with mail, and we'll talk more about this, but you can do first letter navigation to find people. So, for instance, many of the community calls right now are coming from Belinda, so you can type in BE, and that'll show you the first Belinda Collins that you have, unless you have somebody else that begins with BE. Or if you type in KL, it'll make an awful sound, but then it'll say maybe Cliff Miller, you know.
Or CI for Cindy Hollis.
CI for Cindy Hollis, yep. So that's another way you can quickly find people within Mac Mail, and you don't need to do anything fancy like search. You just type in those letters, and it'll take you right to it.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Diane.
Yes, Diane.
I'm finally asking a question. I've been muted, kind of listening and trying to practice some of the old stuff. And I was trying to remember where that command was that would turn voiceover on at startup.
Login item or lock screen.
Yeah.
Screen.
Login.
Yeah.
Lock
Lock
screen.
screen. Yeah.
That's the new way.
Yeah, that's where I was, and I wasn't finding it. But
This is Herbie.
Go ahead, Herbie.
You have to hit the accessibility button. It's at the bottom.
Yep. Okay. Well, that will help. Thank you very much.
Yes, Brad.
And that seems to be something that has been fixed in the latest, what came out yesterday, 13.3, right? Is that what it was? Anyhow, since Ventura came out, no matter what I do, turn that on. When I reboot the Mac, it's never on at the lock screen. Have to Command F5 to turn on voiceover, but in the under 24 hours since I've done the update last night, it seems that now when I turn on the reboot, lift the top and turn on my MacBook Pro, it's now talking. It used to never do that. So we'll see. I say that, and then the next time I shut it down and turn it on, maybe it'll go back to not talking, but that was a bug, and maybe they fixed it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I know that one's been with you for a while, so hopefully. Okay, who wants to ask our next question?
Oh, this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Two things. One thing I've noticed, my messages bug, at least, seems to be a lot better behaved in this latest update to where actually it'll focus on the conversation instead of trying to group them. So I'm happy about that. I say improved because it's not fully, it still does it occasionally, but it doesn't seem to do it as much. But maybe we talked about this earlier. Are there any other significant changes with this latest Mac OS release?
We have not talked about that. Oh, yes, we did. Well, kind of before Macintalk started. VOJ in system settings is supposed to be better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This I gotta see.
Did we mention anything else, anyone? Or do you have anything else to mention? Has whoever's... I did update, but I haven't really done too much playing around.
Corey.
Yeah,
And
Corey.
I did notice that there was an annoying Finder bug that would actually leave your Finder empty.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then you have to do a command option escape, and you have to tell a Finder to relaunch. It was gone for a while, but it's back with a bit of a vengeance on my configuration since I did the update yesterday as well.
Sometimes starting or stopping and restarting VoiceOver, because it'll say like Finder has no windows, and sometimes that's a VoiceOver bug, but that's a bummer that it started to behave and then it's not
Yeah, it
anymore.
was kind of a tease. It was just rather disappointing when I started getting that this morning again.
Because I think that was
This is
supposed to be
Brad.
fixed. Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
If you need to do as Corey described and restart Finder, you can do it without having to open the force quit dialog.
Really?
If you do Command Option Shift Escape.
Yep.
It should restart the currently focused app, or if your currently focused app is a Safari, it quits it. And I find it's not 100% consistent because sometimes something's hung up, but I find that usually does it, and certainly does it for Finder. If you're on Finder and you do that, it's not even going to ask you if you're sure you want to restart this. It just does it. So,
And this is Herbie.
Command Option Shift Escape.
Yes, go ahead, Herbie.
So first of all, I do want to confirm, today it did not work when the VoiceOver utility froze on me, but that reminded me of another thing that I've noticed. Has anybody had, since this latest update, I seem to a couple times have had problems entering my password where I am very sure I'm entering it correctly and it goes, authentication failed.
Ooh.
I've experienced that, but it was even before the update.
Okay.
And
I reset voice, yesterday it locked me out and I had to reset VoiceOver, and then it seemed to actually take the correct password, and then today it did it to me again when I was trying to recheck the Apple script and VoiceOver utility, and yeah. So.
I had to do it all the way back in the recovery mode. Okay. And then, I had to the computer was being rather naughty, and I had to actually go into recovery mode, pretend I forgot my password, put in a new one, and then re-add my fingerprint. So I wasn't a happy boy that day, but it was a short day, so I'm happy now.
Well, there you go. I think it's a VoiceOver issue because it seems like when that happens, like resetting VoiceOver, it seems to fix it. But I noticed it seems to be a little bit more buggy than the latest thing.
Your computer just doesn't like you, Herbie, because I haven't had that issue. I'm joking, but no, I haven't actually seen that. But I'm also running the beta, but that should make a difference because the full release came out yesterday, was it? Yeah. So.
But then the M1 Macs also definitely have some different behaviors than us old
Intel. What about you, Brad? Have you had that issue?
This is
no,
Judy.
I have not, but you're right about different behavior on M1 Macs.
Okay, Judy, go ahead.
So I have the M1 Mac, and this morning when I was updating to the new, the 0.4, I had the same thing happen. It kept saying my passcode was wrong, and I was afraid I was going to get shut out. And then finally, I just restarted the whole computer, and then I was able to get it in.
All right. If that ever happens, just start by trying restarting VoiceOver first, because sometimes that usually fixes it when I have that issue, but I just it happening to me twice, kind of made me really think about it, and I've never had it. It's so infrequent that I don't normally think about it, but all right. But yeah, I was gonna say, for instance, I've not had the problems with VoiceOver not talking at startup. I have not had the Finder has no Windows option problem. But yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, this is a good discussion about updates. What else does anyone want to talk about?
This is Cliff.
Yes, Cliff?
Got a question for Brad because I don't like talking to Herbie. But I want to know, Brad, have you had? Because I don't know. Do you have the new MacBook Pro with the Max M1, right, or whatever that
Yeah.
thing's called?
M1
Have you ever
MacBook
got the
Pro.
issue? I mean, because I got a Studio 32 or 64 gig of RAM. I got the $4,000 one, whatever. I forgot
Of
what it's
course.
called. Anyways, there's no way when there's nothing else open when I go to Safari that is telling me Safari's busy or not responding. Have you ever? Are you getting that
Never.
prompt?
I mean, I have had the Safari not responding because there's a page, but it's kind of rare nowadays.
Okay.
But no, I have never had a problem. You're talking when there's no Safari window open at all? Just
No,
Safari open.
I was just saying no app open at all when I launched Safari. Now it could be the fact that my homepage is Amazon and maybe trying to load a bunch of content.
That could have
but
it.
maybe I'll change
I've
my
got
homepage and
mindset.
see.
I've got mine set so when I open Safari, it opens to a blank page.
Oh, okay.
Me
I don't
too.
want it to have to
Yeah.
fool around with
Right.
loading
That's actually a
something.
pretty good idea, and just
But then I've
put
noticed
Amazon in my
since-
favorites, right?
Yeah, and I've noticed since I don't know, not the yesterday's update, but the previous update, if I have to close Safari and then reopen it, I've got it set to open all tabs from my last session. And if a blank tab was open, blank page, blank whatever, it opens it to that Apple start page instead of blank page, even though
Okay.
I've even gone into my Safari preferences and wiped out where it shows there's a open with this page. I've even wiped out homepage so it doesn't have one, but it does anyway. If you on Safari and do Command Shift Home, it takes you to that apple.com start page, so can't get rid of it.
Okay.
So this is Herbie. Maybe I have a question that maybe Cliff will have an answer for. I don't know.
Let's see if we can. We want to have questions.
Well, this is a genuine question, but this is because I can't because I don't have an M1 Mac, so that's why I can't answer it myself. So, but the reason why I'm picking on Cliff is because him, like several of us, use Loopback, and so with the M1 Max, when people have to run Loopback, they have to put their Macs in, I guess now what is called like less secure mode. And what I've always wondered is, like, is there any disadvantage to that, by putting your Mac in that mode? Because, as an Intel user, I don't have to do that. So
absolutely none. I'm sorry, this is
None.
Cliff. Absolutely none.
Okay.
No,
Go ahead,
same
Brad.
here. Same here. I mean, I think the only thing it's doing is it's warning you about installing apps from unidentified developers, and
Okay.
your own common sense is the best safety for stuff like that. But
Definitely.
no, I have not had any issue.
Okay, because I've always worried, that's the only way I know of to get Loopback to work on an M1 Mac,
Right,
but I've
you
always
have
worried,
to do that
have I,
for-
has it been okay to have people do that, because, all right, good.
All right.
Unmute audio. Currently unmuted.
This is Dot.
Yes, Dad.
How come my Mac never say loopback when I noticed when Chanelle
This is Herbie.
when you open something and it's called loopback.
Yeah, because I'm sharing my. Okay, go ahead, Herbie.
Loopback is a very specific program it's a third-party application for the Mac that is used for sound audio
mixer.
production purposes. It's
It's a
basically
digital
an
mixer.
onboard mixer.
I thought it's supposed to be default factory
No.
built in and all that. No.
No, I know I told you I set my voiceover settings to their defaults whenever I do each class, but I don't
Yeah.
I share my voiceover so that you can hear it
Oh
in a
yeah.
program called Loopback. Used to do
Oh.
Zoom audio
Oh.
sharing, but
Oh, gee.
the
Oh, okay.
Loopback allows you to basically hear my voiceover.
Ah, okay. I thought of something specific to Mac Pro or something.
No, it's
No.
specific to Mac in general, but it's a
Mm.
third-party application and it
Okay.
rings around
It's
Windows.
from a company called Rogue Amoeba. They make
Oh,
apps.
okay.
Oh, they make audio apps only for the Mac.
Yep.
That's good.
Diane,
Yes, Diane.
I just started updating my Mac. Looks like it's got about 30 minutes to go. But
Okay.
for a while it was ticking.
That's normal. Yeah.
normal, yeah.
That's
Oh,
normal.
okay.
It's
So
going to
this is-
explode.
Yep. So this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
I mean, I think different Macs kind of behave slightly differently, like what mine does when it updates. It'll do the ticking because it's downloading, then it's going to restart and talk. Mine, at least, when it restarts, it'll talk in a really loud voice saying, "Welcome to Mac OS, installing updates, please wait." Very startling.
Okay.
Well, that's what it does.
Yeah.
And it's extremely loud, and I don't think there's a way to adjust the volume on that. And then it'll come back in. Now, one thing, especially I've noticed this with Ventura, is it's going to have a while where it will not talk. And so just don't even worrying about it for a while, and then just come back in like 30 minutes. And now this time it was not clear when it was done. I just had to guess by entering in my password, and I think that's what started to throw the password thing off. So I think I might have been better off resetting my voiceover right from the get-go. So you might want to try that first, actually, and see if it says enter password. If it doesn't, then it's probably finishing up the update, but it will take at least a good half hour to.
Actually, so
Oh, wow.
I had a totally different. Yeah, I started the update yesterday, and then I must have been distracted or eating a meal or something because I came back a half hour later. And my computer, was right where it was before. There was no changes. Didn't have to enter in any. I checked to see if my Mac had updated, and it had. So mine was just this
I wonder if it has
seamless.
something to do with the fact that I have the T. Mine's newer and has the T2 security chip. I don't know.
Oh, that could be. But yeah, I just walked away from mine, and then I come back. I was like, oh, it's updated. There was no prompt to enter a password or anything. So.
This is
I-
Brad.
Yes, Brad.
My wife has a 24-inch iMac with the M1, and I don't know why. I've never seen any machine that I've ever had that does this. In the middle of an update, she has to enter her password. And then it continues on. Further, she has a USB keyboard. She doesn't like the Apple Magic keyboard that came with it, extended or smaller one. She likes her old Apple wired USB keyboard. And after every update or in the middle of the update, when it asks you for that, she has to reach around behind it, unplug the little USB Thunderbolt dongle, and then plug it back in before the keyboard will be recognized by the machine. But that's neither here. My point was, in the middle of the update, it gets to a certain point and it stops until she enters her admin password, and then it continues. It's very strange.
It is.
So I'm just going to leave it alone for a while then, and.
Yep.
Now
this,
okay.
Before I go to
It's
bed.
definitely not ticking anymore.
No.
That's good.
Now, anybody want to try to tackle a question with an older Mac running whatever
Well,
it was
we
before?
only have. Let's see. Well, let's.
Oh, we only got 2 minutes. Yikes.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So, save that for next time. Oh wait, you won't be here next time, as you're normally not here. But until the very end.
Hopefully, I should have figured it out by then. I was just trying to be lazy and see if anybody.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. Our next meeting will be, in April. I forgot what that fourth Tuesday is. Definitely come to some of the upcoming Mac iBUG events, and students, will see you in the study session on Thursday.
That'll be April 25th.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Good for you. April 25th. Okay. Thank you.
I know because I'm going to be missing that day.
Okay. All right.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. Okay. Well, have a good evening. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
Yep.
I learned a lot.
Bye.
Bye bye.